Chica molli, chica mai. Zap. Oh, zap. Isa ko kain, ngayon ko futusi ko. Gar. No chajela he. Indo he? Urha? Garguts. Pa! Oh, chale que araka. Ah, sí.
Hey, Roaring. Jeg har en turf and in Tom's penis.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SEN Live. That's right, the Schmodown Entertainment Network. Christian Harloff, and it is Friday, May 29th. Thanks for joining us. Back on the show, the little showy show. And I'm happy that you have all decided to join us here today. Some big news, potential news, grain of salt news, rumor news. News that potentially, though, makes a lot of sense here. And had to bring in the expert of all experts in order to break this down today.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Nice to have you here, Professor Brett.
Yes, we'll be talking lots of things that I'm quite an expert on today.
That's right. Breaking in the news here. If you saw the topic, John Campea reported that he had a source and said that JJ Abrams is not only directing Superman. There's questions, are they going to do Superman at all? What's going to happen with Superman? Will it be Man of Steel 2? What's going to happen?
It's going to be Superman.
Yeah, right. No, we didn't know what was going to happen with Superman. And then Campea said he has a source that told him that JJ's directing it. And the reason, now the second part of the story is what he says, that he had two separate people that he talked to. First person said that JJ is doing it. They give him some kind of options here. They wanted to give him some flexibility, but it very well could be Henry Cavill that is playing Superman. Now he talked to someone else who says that, yeah, JJ is directing it, or is doing it, excuse me. He's absolutely involved with it. But that Henry Cavill is Superman. That's why they're negotiating. So it's one that he could be inside of the, I think it's inside of the company. I have no idea who his actual source is. But and then the other one says that, yeah, it's Cavill. So we're going to talk about that for sure and get into that, because I have so many questions. It's like, is it a separate script? Is it Man of Steel 2? Is it nothing to do with that? Is it just maybe it's a continuation similar to what maybe Singer did with Superman Returns? And I don't mean like that kind of light feel, but I mean, is it more of a sequel to Man of Steel, but just kind of an indirect sequel? I don't know. So we're going to talk about that for sure. There's other things that kind of went down today. As I mentioned in the description of this video, Cobra Kai, talked about it the other day, that it's going to be, it looked like we didn't know what the hell was going to happen with it. It looks like it did find a new home, or it's going to find a new home for season 3. Not that it has, but it's, so yeah, so there's that. And then there's and then the other thing is that, what was the third one? Sonic the Hedgehog has got himself a sequel. So I'm gonna click on. Click it up. Is Roka's still on the air? No, he's off. He's off. I was gonna do a super chat and tell him to get off the air. but he's off. But anyway, so this is a very interesting time for all this stuff that's going down. I can't wait to get everybody's opinions on it because
he's off.
Because the
but anyway,
shut up, me.
Hey.
The other shut up, me.
Christian, shut the fuck up!
Shut up, me. The other thing that I'm so curious, and as you guys know, streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. If you want to get right into the Cavill and JJ stuff and want to throw it in through a Schmobot, go ahead. Go and do it. It's streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. Let's talk about it because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussion. I'm sure there's a lot of people who love this. The hell with it. Let's just start with the damn thing. We don't need to tease it. Let's just get into it. This is streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. Let's get a full-on discussion about it. Is it a good thing? Is it? I'm sure there are going to be some fans who hate this news. I think because here's the funny thing. So Matt Link, who right away I see says, I've heard JJ's script for a Superman flyby was pretty good except for the wacky ending. I read this script. I was working at a gym. You remember that? I was buddies with you.
Oh yeah.
I was working at a gym. It's like 2002, and I was working at a gym.
Sam Tripoli worked there with you?
No, it wasn't Tripoli. It wasn't Tripoli. It's that gym that I told you that every time Fred Savage came in, the computer fucked up his name and it said Feed Savage. So every time he'd walk by, I laughed to myself and I go Feed. Right. But anyway, so I had got the script, and I don't remember. It was an agency that I had a friend in an agency who got me the script, and I read the script, and I loved the script. But the ending is so stupid. At the end of this really good script, because it starts off really cool, it ends with Lex Luthor revealing he's a Kryptonian and flying off into the sky.
Oh, fun!
And it's like, don't fuck with the lore, dude. Don't do that. And look, and to be fair, when he was asked about it, he said, look, it was not ever supposed to be out there, this script. It was a first draft, and I said, like, what if we did this? And if the notes would have come back and I didn't do it. But it was out there, and he wrote the script. He wasn't. It was, I think McGee at first was supposed to direct it, then Ratner, and then back to McGee, and then the whole thing just kind of fell apart. But this is, I think that this is going to be a very, very interesting situation for people, because there are a lot of people who don't like what he did with with some people like Force Awakens. A lot of people like Force Awakens, right? But then he's been notorious. He's notorious for not being able to finish what he started. He kind of finishes off something great, then he kind of takes off. Although he did direct Rise of Skywalker, but it was one of the lower rated critically Star Wars films that have been released. There's a lot of things that people didn't necessarily like about that movie. Now, this is the other side of it that I think people need to give him credit when it comes to things like Lost and Alias and Super 8, which I don't love, but people love that movie. And Mission Impossible 3, people forget that Mission Impossible 2 stinks. It stinks, that movie. And I remember seeing that movie going, oh, and I like John Woo, but that movie stinks. And I remember the third one came out, and like, God, didn't we care about this anymore? And with Philip Seymour Hoffman and everything that JJ did, it's a really good movie. And it kind of kicked us back into caring about Mission Impossible. So I think that, this is a town, this is a business where everybody's like, what have you done for me lately? And right now, I don't think people really love, he's not super high with a lot of fans because of the kind of lukewarm response that Rise of Skywalker got. But does this make sense? Do I believe that this could be accurate? Yeah, I do, because he's obviously, like we said, he's wanted to do Superman for a long time. He wrote the script. He didn't have the type of clout that he's got today. He just signs this massive deal with Warner Brothers when everybody was courting him, and he gets this deal with Warner Brothers. And what's one of their big properties right now that's just kind of been sitting in on the back burner, and that's Superman. Now, the flip side of that is you have all this kind of traction now with Snyder, him coming back, and why do you want to take a risk and piss off a lot of people to say, well, why don't you just give it to Snyder and let him do Man of Steel too? Now, this doesn't say that JJ Abrams is directing it. So is there a possibility that he is producing it with Snyder attached as director and Cavill doing Superman again? I'm sure there's a possibility. I think that's highly unlikely. I think it's more likely that JJ will direct it. I think that it is a good way to carry over good grace with fans by keeping Henry Cavill as Superman instead of trying to find another one, especially now when people want Henry Cavill back, and he has been pretty vocal that he wants to come back. So if he wants to come back and you don't bring him back, then there's going to be a stink. But again, flip side to that, you have the Joker. You had 2 Jokers out there at one point, with even though Leto was kind of put in the back burner with Joaquin Phoenix. Could there be other Batmans rolling around? I think what DC did smart was they said, we don't need to go and do what Marvel's doing. That's not what we want to do. We're going to make side stories. We're put other things that connect, because this is another thing where maybe you have because there were other reports that came out yesterday before John had talked about this. There was reports that I think from Justin Kroll of Variety, who was saying that Cavill is going to have smaller roles in movies like Aquaman 2 and Shazam or Black Adam, and sure, that's cool. And I think Robert Meyer Burnett made the point earlier this morning. Do you want to put in a big deal like this with an actor like Cavill that just gets you little mini performances? And I had mentioned to you yesterday, very similar to say this could be more than just mini roles, because it could be something bigger like what they did with Civil War. And even though it's called Captain America Civil War, Tony Stark has just as big of a role in that as I think Captain America does. So they could do something very similar to that in Black Adam or Shazam 2, which would be great. But I think that if you're going to start a new Superman movie with a new director and a new producer in JJ Abrams, I think it is a risk. If it was one thing if Cavill was saying, "No, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done. I just that time of my life is I'm over it. I'm moving on." Then it's like, well, he doesn't want to do it anymore. But if he's clearly said that he's wanted to, and we know he's talking to them, it is a little bit of a it's a little bit of the of a switch to do. Yeah, man. This is it's interesting nonetheless. So
because people were saying that it might just be little pop-ins here and there, that it wasn't going to, they're not going to do a Man of Steel 2 and stuff like that. Is that what you're saying? It's like that.
Well, so this is my point exactly. Is that so? Devin Bean is in here. He said, just let Snyder do Man of Steel 2. Snyder has a lot of clout with the fans, man. Like they want to. Obviously, you look what happened with the Snyder Cut, Justice League, and what they're doing. So by not having him do Man of Steel, there's going to be that pocket of fans. There might be a larger pocket than they maybe realize, that's saying, why JJ let Snyder do it?
Yeah.
Could come. But the other thing, like, they might be okay, maybe not. What the fuck do I know? But they might be okay if Cavill decides to come back and work with JJ. And again,
Dawgan donated $20.
Hello, Dagan.
I think JJ works better as a director or world builder rather than a writer. He definitely knows how to make a movie but seems to have Edwin Hess writing. Rise of Skywalker was a mess. To be fair, he did make my second favorite Trek movie in 2009.
I liked that Star Trek movie. I forgot to mention that. I did also. So, William Bibiani says, Snyder's movies don't make as much money as the movies he doesn't make. What do you mean as far as like Justice League goes? I don't know what the point was there, Bibbs.
About the Snyder Cut?
Snyder's movies don't make as much money as the movies he doesn't make. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at what, like you're talking about, like as compared to Aquaman, as far as DC goes. I see. Yeah, I know. You're not wrong, but what he has right now, and you're not wrong at all, Bibbs. When it comes to business, it's a business, and that's what the studio has to be looking at. But with this age that we're in, with social media and fan kind of outcry, it's like, have you seen anybody supported in DC or Marvel, like a director more so than Zack Snyder? I mean, they rally behind this cat, man. They really do. They really have his back more so than any other director that we've seen. So I think that it could happen again. And JJ Abrams has made way more money There's no doubt about it. But I don't know. It's a business. I don't necessarily disagree with anything you're saying, but that's true. Gimish says that Wonder Woman didn't crack $1 billion over 800 million, not $1 billion. It did make $1 billion, I thought. I don't know. So anyway, Josh Barnett is asking, is this a rumor or just talk, wishful thinking? Also, like the video shit was. It's a rumor that John Campea had heard from the same source that told him that Ben Affleck was leaving as Batman, like about a year and a half before it happened, and some other things too. He said it's grain of salt, and then it just made sense when you put it all together and why JJ is there and the properties that JJ could do and what's one of the big properties that Warner Brothers have that they could give him to kind of come out of the gate and say this is one of my first projects here at Warner Brothers. Superman makes sense. Superman's also the property that has been notoriously difficult to do. Now, we talked about yesterday, Man of Steel made a lot of money though. Even so, it's like you say it made less money. It still made like $700 million or whatever it did worldwide. It's still a lot of money. It's not $1 billion, but it's still a lot of money.
This is just making me realize I need a source.
You need a source?
Yeah, if I had a source.
Yeah, your kids are your source.
My career would just be, I'd be like, hey, I got a source.
You wouldn't listen to that source.
Hey, no, I didn't. I didn't listen to the guy that told me to buy Netflix when they came in the bar drunk. He's like, dude, put all your money in Netflix. I'm like, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
When it was $2.
It was probably you from the future. The guy look homeless.
No, it's like, listen, hey.
I'm telling you, man, I'm not allowed to tell you how I know.
Yeah.
But I know. And if someone asks you to be on a morning radio, you say no.
And then I made a joke once around some guys in the business about there being, I go, yeah, I really actually am looking more forward to Spider-Man the musical as a joke. And then they made
the Spider-Man the musical. They made it, yeah. I know. It's
stealing
one of those
my ideas,
yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, so Man of Steel made $668 million and BVS made $891. Yeah, and Wonder Woman made $820.
Give me $500,000 and I'll just take it.
You'll take it all. Why not? Anyway, so it's a story. It's a story, and I think that it's not one of these things just like, hey, I think it's actually potentially a very real thing, and I think it's one of those things where JJ is going to have to announce what he's doing next soon, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is it. And if this would be a massive move to get Cavill back, because what I was saying before is that if you get Cavill, even though people might want to see Man of Steel 2 and have Snyder come back to do Man of Steel 2, that they might be a little bit more understanding by saying, okay, well, Cavill's back at least. Let's see what JJ does with him. And again, we don't know if JJ is necessarily directing as much as he might be producing it. And if he's producing it, who does he bring on to direct it? So there's a lot to be said here. I'm very excited to read your opinions here too. I'm going to go right to streamlabs.com/theschmodown right now, and I want to see if there's anything in there from you guys because I know that this is kind of one of those kind of hot pocket.
Yeah, it's a hot pocket.
It's a hot pocket.
Here, I have a source that JJ is doing craft services.
Is he really?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of it's a new thing for him, but I think he's going to
kill
it.
That's not recommended right now to do craft services.
Oh, that's right.
Everything needs to be in packages.
Oh shit.
So maybe that's not a good. Not a good source.
Man, I gotta get a different source.
It's a bad source. Jay Scotty for real says Robin Schultz love this vid. Chris Jones watched the first 2 episodes of Space Force today. Seems very promising. Trailer only covered the pilot and definitely didn't do it justice. It leans heavily on farce only, with hints of parody in the style of the Zachary Abrams movies Airplane Hot Shots. I gotta check it out.
Yeah,
I gotta really check that out.
Where's that one? Who's on that?
That's Steve Carell.
What platform?
I think it's Netflix.
It's on Netflix?
I got
the Netflix.
I think so. Hey, Bibbs is in here, and I wanted to tell Bibbs. I saw one of Bibbs' tweets the other day. He was talking about trying to watch other platforms, and he didn't know how to access it. Guess what? We all know about ExpressVPN. We've talked about it here on this show.
Mark Torrey donated $20.
Oh, cool.
My father passed away yesterday from heart diseases.
Oh, I'm sorry.
His favorite movie was A Party with Peter Sellers. Been an SD fan since 2011, and the love and support I've gotten has been amazing, including a text from Ken.
That's cool.
I'm so thankful for this community.
What a sweet Schmobot. Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you so much.
And I'm sorry for your loss. That is terrible. But thank you for the kind words, and I'm glad that you were able to find some smiles out of the situation. Good on Ken, man. Well, real quick, just to move on, I wanted to, again, Bibbs, ExpressVPN. A lot of you guys know that it protects your privacy and security online, but something that you didn't know, you can use ExpressVPN to unlock movies and shows that are only available in other countries. There are a lot of us that are stuck at home, and it's only a matter of time until you run out of stuff to watch on Netflix. So this is something for people who have been looking. You can use whatever you want. You can use ExpressVPN to binge whatever it might be. You want to watch all of Doctor Who on UK Netflix? That's what you can do. It's simple. You fire up ExpressVPN, the app. You change the location to the UK. You refresh it, refresh Netflix, and that's it. ExpressVPN, it hides the IP address and it lets you control where you want sites to think that you're located. You can choose from almost 100 different countries. So think about all the Netflix libraries that you can actually go through. If you like anime, you just use ExpressVPN to access Japanese Netflix, and you can be spirited away. You like that? Mm-hmm. But it's not just Netflix. ExpressVPN works with every streaming service, whether it's Hulu, BBC, iPlayer, YouTube, whatever it is. You name it, you got it. There are hundreds of VPNs out there. The reason to use ExpressVPN to watch shows, it's ridiculously fast. That's the best part about it. There's never any buffering, there's no lag, and you can stream in HD, no problem. ExpressVPN is also compatible with all your devices, phones, media consoles, smart TVs, and more. So you can watch what you want on a personal device or on the big screen. It's wherever you are. So here's how you do it. You got to visit our special link right now. Link is in the description of the YouTubes, but if you're an audio listener, listen up. expressvpn.com/SEN. You can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. You want to support this show, but you can also watch what you want and protect yourself with ExpressVPN at expressvpn.com/SEN. So go and check it out right underneath the description, and you will be able to access that at the moment. So go ahead and do that. expressvpn.com/SEN. All right.
I don't know what sort of voodoo they're doing, but I'm interested in trying to get European, like, for my wife, get her into some of these period pieces she can't continue, like the BBC stuff that we can't get to. So I'll have to check out this. What does VPN mean? Anybody?
You want to ask me that right now? I'm asking that right now. So anyway, guys, that's please go and check that out. I'm heading back on over. You guys are firing in these questions, and they're coming in fast and furious. But the other thing, Brett, did you get a chance to watch the what the hell is that? Oh, let me put the schmo back on. Sorry, guys. Did you get a chance to watch Sonic with the kiddos?
I didn't see Sonic. I
hear good things, right?
Yeah, I heard good things, and I almost went to a drive-in with our friends to go see it, but the drive-in wasn't like an hour away. But yeah, that's, again, I can't get these kids to watch a movie with me. I don't know what it is.
I get my daughter is absolutely looking forward to watching that. I have to watch it with her. It's apparently really, really good. And apparently, what's his face? Jim Carrey is back to form in it.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's the big thing I heard of what was Jim Carrey was. Oh, you know what? Actually, my daughter did see it with a friend of hers prior to this, when you could have sleepovers and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why we haven't watched it, because, Blake really isn't interested in it, but
I didn't think I was interested.
I'll have to watch it alone then.
Yeah, you have to. Lynch Design, by the way, put in a super chat, and he said, do you guys know that JJ screen tested Cavill for Superman in 2004 before Singer took over the project? I think this could be legit. He did. Cavill was up for Superman a long time ago. And so this makes a lot of sense. There's no doubt about it. Rockin' Movies with Tyler. Hey, guys, today's the day I move back in. Not sure when things will go back to normal and I can forgive, but I won't forget. Thank you to Roca and Brett for advice. What was the advice, Brett? You remember?
Moving back in?
So he said, today's the day I move back in. Not sure. But Anyway,
well, I'm glad I could help you.
Watcher. Lucasfilm just announced they're going to retcon the sequel trilogy with films starring Mark Hamill coming to Disney Plus. Much love. Thank you. That is obviously just a goof. So speaking of Lucasfilm, you watched the Mandalorian thing?
I always get like a little bit of it in the morning,
Yeah.
Quite possibly while taking a shit. I mean, it could be, I don't know, you know, whatever you do in the bathroom. But no, I watched a little bit of it this morning, and I'm going to
Is it pretty good so far?
Yeah, it was about practical, you know, and they talked a lot about it's amazing how much goes into controlling the kid.
Yeah.
We don't call him
baby species.
Baby species.
Baby species.
I don't call him Baby Yoda because I know that it's not Baby Yoda.
No, people get mad.
But they go through this thing. It's like, well, I control the eyes, and then another guy, I do the ears, and then the other ones, I move the body. You know,
and move his balls,
and it's the thing's this big.
Right.
But I love that because that's what I guess I really liked about the old ones is that I believe that these were real people because they were people in costumes and it wasn't all CG. I've never, you know, as good as it's gotten, I love to see somebody in the costumes. The Ugnaught, somebody in a costume doing that. You know, I love the practical stuff, and I think it really adds to it, and the way that they're combining the practical with the CGI and everything with this new style that they were talking about, where they can see everything, and that's amazing to me.
I love the way they do that. All right, everybody. So once again, we're talking about news here. We're gonna. If you haven't noticed, we've been changing up the format of the show, and I think that it's been working out pretty good. We're doing. We start off with the main topics, talk about everything going on in the world.
Such a crazy, maybe can you believe that?
I know. Well, we started. When we first started the show, we did it that way, and then we kind of came back. You and I just lost our minds for a little bit, I think it was, and we just decided we were just gonna. And there wasn't a lot of news. There's a lot of news that's coming out now, so we're going to talk about all the news, and then throughout the entire show, you can just submit your Schmobots. It's streamlabs.com/theschmodown. Anything in particular that you want to talk about, you can throw in there. If it's the JJ Abrams stuff, if it's the Sonic stuff, whatever it might be, or if it's other stuff. I mean, if there's, you know what I like also? Sometimes if you want to actually bring up a topic in the Schmobot that we didn't even think about, that we can just kind of go off of, I like doing that also. So go ahead. Sonic the Hedgehog sequel, it is a go. Paramount Pictures and Sega have confirmed that development has begun on a sequel to this year's live-action family comedy feature, Sonic the Hedgehog. Again, this report comes from Dark Horizons. The first film follows the world's speediest hedgehog as he embraces his new home on Earth. Sonic, who's voiced by Ben Schwartz, and his new best friend, Tom, team up, who's played by James Marsden, team up to defend the planet from the evil genius Dr. Robotnik, who's Jim Carrey, as he plots world domination. The film opened to solid reviews, breaking the opening weekend record for a movie based on a video game and nabbing the fourth best President's Day weekend debut. The sequel will reteam the filmmakers with Jeff Fowler directing, while Pat Casey and Josh Miller are writing the script. No decisions as far as casting goes. My buddy Toby Asher is one of the producers. So,
really?
Yeah. I was an intern with him. He was a good dude. He still is a good dude.
Hey,
wait. You know what? Funny story about
Don't
Toby.
hashtag that.
No, funny story about Toby Asher. So, back in the day, to no one's surprise, Jeff Snyder and I got into a Twitter beef, as Snyder's known to do. But Snyder, before I knew him, so schmozno.com was in the business of scoops, and we used to get these reports. Back in the day, there was this report, there was this thing that used to go around, these emails that I was part of the studio system for a while, and I was still part of this thing where I would get scoops, and I would get things that, you know, that I wouldn't get them the traditional way. I would get them through stuff that was happening that producers and writers and everybody was talking about, and I started reporting on them with schmozno.com. We didn't do it the right way where we were supposed to, like, here's the thing, and then we would check in on the sources the way you're supposed to with studios. It goes, is this accurate? We just put it out there, and 99% of the time they were all accurate. Like, we reported on Tim Burton doing, even though it hasn't happened yet, but the news about him doing Beetlejuice 2 and all this other, we had Fuqua's Dirty Dozen, not Dirty Dozen, Magnificent Seven. When that was announced, we were the first people to kind of get a hold of that, and Snyder was starting to get pissed, and he's like, how are these? And rightfully so, because it's like he does things. He's a legit reporter, so he
Scoops McGee.
He goes out there and does it the right way. He tracks these things. He's been tracking it for a while, and he's got a call. And he's since he and I started working together, he showed me like what he needs to do and how he needs to do it. He's got to call the studios. He's got to say, hey, I'm hearing this, blah blah blah. we heard him on this show when he called in. He's
Yeah.
like, no, after a while, if they're not, you can, if it's, the sources are real and they have no comment on it, you can go and report it. All these different things that he was doing, but he was tracking all of these stories and we kept breaking them. And he was fucking pissed. Understandably so. And so he thought we were like some website and some basement and God knows where.
Yeah.
Right. So he's like, who are these fuckers? And him and Justin Kroll started coming after us and they were pissed. So I was like, why is this guy shitting on our parade? You know, him and Kroll were both doing it. So I went out and I reached out and I went to Facebook and I said, who is this fucking guy? Who's his mutual friends? And I looked at mutual friends and one of the mutual friends was Toby Asher, my buddy who's producer of Sonic. And so I reached out and told me, who's this fucking guy? I was like, this guy, he's a Boston guy. He's got this attitude. I'm like, this guy, he has since blocked us on Twitter. He's blasting us. And I go, can you set up a meeting with this hump? And he goes, yeah, I'll put you in touch with him. So Toby was like the icebreaker there. And then Snyder and I had pizza at this place in, I don't forget where it was. And we sat down and we became, and that was it. It was over. And the same thing then I sat down with Toby Asher after that. But it was hysterical. It was so funny and then we don't do that shit anymore. Well, plus those emails stopped coming. So, because it just doesn't, it was a very different way that people talked in the studio system 10 to 15 years ago than they do now. So nobody really does that anymore. So, yeah, so Sonic 2, it looks like that's going down.
I'm amazed that a film about a video game that was huge when I was in college.
Yeah,
did well.
But that just shows you it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the core audience itself. Even though I'm sure the core audience had a lot to do with it, that they were curious about it.
Yeah,
it shows, can you put on a good story? Because if you just made a movie, Sonic the Hedgehog wasn't a thing, it wasn't a game, and you made this movie about a movie about this hedgehog with his friend, and it was a family movie. You're like, oh, some movie's coming out about, I'm gonna take my kid to it. Oh, Jim Carrey's in it. Okay, what's it about? It's about this guy, this hedgehog. He can talk, and he brings in James, the guy who played Cyclops. Oh, all right. It's you don't have to be locked in as long as it's a good story. Reviews ain't good. Reviews are pretty good. Jim Carrey's pretty funny in it. That's all you need.
Yeah,
that's all you need, because it helps to have the name more so than anything else.
Of course.
Because it's like, oh, they're doing a Sonic movie, really? Like you said, it's 20, 30 years. Any good? Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, fuck it, I'll see it. Yeah. Again, that's the only reason I thought it was going to be like the Smurfs.
Yeah,
and
that was my concern. It was
I said no, thank you, and I still got to check it out. So, all right, moving on to our next story. There are tons of stories here also.
I'm interested in that. I don't know if anybody else, but I just saw it. I haven't read the article yet, but the Gal Gadot doing the Hedy Lamarr series. I just watched a documentary about Hedy Lamarr. Very interesting.
I have to check that out.
Yeah. It was right up at the top there, but we could,
I'll look at it
after this.
After this one, because we reported on this, we talked about this the other day, but reporting on it. We talked about this the other day about Cobra Kai, and there's a lot of moving shows over on YouTube because they're going away from a lot of their scripted materials, which everybody said, well, what about Cobra Kai, which is easily the biggest success that they've ever had. And again, from Dark Horizons, Cobra Kai, the biggest success story ever on YouTube's brief dalliance with scripted series, is leaving the streaming giant as Deadline reports that this sequel series to the iconic 1980s film The Karate Kid will premiere in its third season somewhere else. The Google-owned YouTube service is in the process of releasing the rights to the third season of the popular show to producing studio Sony Pictures TV as it continues its retreat from premium original scripted programming. YouTube ordered a third season last year and was planning to air the new run, but notified Sony TV it had no plans for a fourth season order. As a result, Sony TV then asked for permission to shop the upcoming and already completed production third season to an outlet so that, should be successful, then additional seasons could be ordered. Sony TV also took the show out with all the major streamers expressing interest in being its new home. Netflix and Hulu are leading the short list of contenders. Negotiations are now reportedly nearing a successful conclusion, but YouTube won't formally release the series until its new home has been secured. Along with exclusive rights to the third season, the new outlet will have access to a non-exclusive basis to the first two seasons for fans to catch up. This is the best news that the Cobra Kai guys could ever have. Ever.
Oh, yeah.
This is the best news they brought. I bet you they're over the fucking moon. And when it's announced, I'm going to reach out to John and try to get him on the show and talk about it. I'm sure if they're allowed to talk about it, I don't know, but I'm sure he's thrilled. I'm sure he and Hayden and Josh are thrilled right now because it was, remember, I don't know, maybe you don't remember, but nobody was taking a shot at them at first, and YouTube was the one who took the shot at them, and then YouTube benefited from it. But they didn't want to be on YouTube. They never told me this. This is not what they said. But if I was to guess, I would guess that they probably wanted to be at something else. But the deal wasn't as sweet. And now that all the chips are in there, it lies with them, so they can say, okay, great. YouTube doesn't want to do it anymore. Everybody wants it now.
Yeah.
Now because guess what? If you put it on Netflix, and I don't know if that means, I assume they'll be able to get the back library too. I would assume.
You would think so, yeah.
You would assume if they're not going to do it anymore, they'll probably put it inside of the deal. And if it's on Netflix or if it's on Hulu, I guarantee you, for those people who have never watched it before now, because YouTube, it's like, I've told so many people about Cobra Kai, and they're like, where YouTube? I got to find that on YouTube? Oh, I need to subscribe. Well, I don't want to.
That was me. I didn't want to subscribe to a different
to something else. Even though it was free, all you had to do, the way that I watched
really?
the first season, you could get you got 3 months or something like that for free, or a month for free if you signed up. And what everybody was doing was watching it, binging it, and then just stopping the subscription before the month was over. And that's
I always forget to stop that.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what they hope for.
I had Shudder for 3 years, and I didn't realize it because we did it for one show.
Yeah, that's what people
bank on.
That's what they bank on. And then I was lucky enough where the guys had sent me the links for second season, so I just watched it through the links. But this is great news. I think this is great news for them, and I'm sure that they're over the moon about this. I think this is it also allows them to pick up conversations and start a relationship with a new family that is going to be very excited to have it. And I think it allows, if you put seasons, you basically do, if Netflix is the one who gets it, like look at something like Waco, right?
Yeah.
Like Waco, it was on the Paramount network, and Waco was a great show, and it was a mini series. It was a great show, and it was on Paramount, and nobody really paid attention to it. It comes out 2 years later on Netflix, and then people are talking about it. So, and people were talking about Cobra Kai a lot. But how much more will they talk about it if now you have access to it on those people who didn't know how to find it, actually start watching it because it's on Netflix? You put on season 1 and season 2, and then you follow it up by season 3. I think it's a great idea.
And this falls in line with the Sonic thing in a way. Like here you got something where you go like, what, they're doing Cobra Kai.
Right.
And for them to take that and it shows, again, like Sonic, if you put together a good story, you put together a good script and a good cast. It's a great point. It's a great point because, and I told them that when we sat down, and I've interviewed them, I think 2 or 3 times, and I interviewed Ralph Macchio, and Ralph Macchio had, it's similar to like Creed, when like Stallone didn't want to do Creed. Yeah,
he didn't want, like when Ryan Coogler told him at first, I wanted to do it, Stallone was like no, and then he watched Fruitvale Station, and he said, all right, let's talk. What's the pitch? And he told him the pitch, and he's like, all right, well that could work. Because he didn't want to like taint, because he felt Rocky Balboa was a good end to it, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then when they pitched on this side of what he wanted to do, it's like it made sense. The story was right. And the same thing, and hearing that story on the guys for Cobra Kai and how they did it and how they had to pitch it to the Smiths, because the Smiths own, after Karate Kid, the remake, they own the property. So they had to talk to them and talk to and say, look, this is what we wanted to do. They had to pitch it to William Zabka, right? They had to pitch it. They had to get Macchio on board, and even Macchio was like, because they keep getting like, what are they going to do with it? What is it going to be, a goof? And it's not a goof. It's a really good show. So I think this is amazing. I think this is amazing news for them.
Yeah. I'm mad at myself for not. This is, of all these things that we go, I should check that out. I should have seen this by now.
But now, actually, it's better that you didn't.
Yeah.
Because now, hopefully, you have both Hulu and Netflix, right?
Yeah.
So now you're going to see it. It's got to go to one of those two. It's got to go to one of those two. I actually think I would prefer it to be on Netflix because of what I just said as far as the Waco thing goes too. I think more viewers are going to check it out. I think it can be it was a hit show, but I think it could be a mega hit show if it starts trending, especially now during COVID, if they get it in time. Things are opening up still, but either way, people are still looking for stuff to watch. So anyway, Cobra Kai is going to another streaming service. I think this is phenomenal news, great news. I don't think there's any negatives to losing it on YouTube at all. So
I saw a woman in my apartment get a Netflix DVD.
Hotel Turd donated
Hotel Turd's back.
$20.
Hey,
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good
true?
Burger. May I take your order? Which fictional chefs/restaurants would you like to try food from? or most appetizing scenes?
No, you just took it.
I'll take Jon Favreau's food truck and chef.
Yeah, you just took
Honorable
mine.
mention to Adam Sandler and Spanglish.
You just took mine, but I also think what's it? And I think I'm the only person that liked that Bradley Cooper chef movie. I think it might just what the hell was it called? I don't remember what it was called, but I liked that movie. Thought that looked good too.
I would like to eat at the restaurant in Ratatouille.
Oh yeah, that's right. So look, this is my point. Jade Kearns. I haven't seen Cobra Kai, but I would watch it if it comes to Netflix. Yeah. So how many people in the Burnt. I'm the only person that liked that movie. Anyway, guys, in the
Cool Cat 88 donated $20. Yep, Gadot doing heady for Apple Plus. 3 big movies in a week.
No.
With Tom Hanks stuff and Leo stuff. They also have Evans and Momoa on their top. They are becoming a legit contender. Also only $4.99 a month and not 20 episodes like most shows, only 8 on most.
No shit, that sounds pretty good so far. Yeah, they are making a pretty big pull there. Real quick, so I want to get from the chat room right now. I'm looking in the chat. Just give me a yes or no. Have you watched Cobra Kai? So that's all I want to say. Have you watched Cobra Kai? Yes or no?
If you've watched it, hit like. If you haven't, hit like.
Perfect. But just a yes or no inside. I want to see how many people have seen it.
What's a Cobra Kai? Oh, wow, a lot of no's.
There's a lot of no's. A lot of no's. There's a lot of no's. That's what I'm saying, man. I guarantee it. And I wonder because it was on YouTube first season. They give no. A lot of no's. So I'm telling you, man. Like when that show comes out on Netflix or Hulu, I bet you all those no's a lot of them turns to yes. There's a lot of yeses in there too. I won't say which because my mom uses a pseudonym in the chat room. I won't say.
Oh, that's what I need. You told me I need a pseudonym.
I saw hers. She said, I won't reveal what she said.
She said, "Suck my nuts."
Yeah, she did. She was funny because she was like, "Don't give up. Don't let people know my pseudonym. Don't let them know that I'm in there." I'm like, I tell them you're in there all the time. You don't even know what it is.
All your stuff starts out with, "Hey, honey,
yeah,
Mom here."
That's right. She's Lucas Shashek.
She is hotel nerd.
She's been
actually.
Lucas Shashek. Yeah.
Sorry, to real. She is hotel nerd.
Yeah, she's Lucas Shashek. I'll get a text from my mother. She's, "You bastard. How'd you do? I mean, why do you do that? Oh, it's so funny. It's just so funny." And then my friends tell me that you do the impression. They say it sounds. I don't think it sounds anything like me. You and your brother, you do the same thing. It's just so. Of course, you got to go after your mother. Okay, fine. I'm just in the chat. I'm just talking. I don't understand why what a lot of this. I don't know who a JJ Abrams is.
Supporting your show.
But I'm just here to watch. You think I care about Super? I don't care. But yeah, just keep going. Make fun of your mother. Okay. You think you're so funny. Okay. What's the other one she used to do? Oh, the number one thing, her catchphrase. And I should say this on the show more. You got some nerve.
You got some nerve.
That was her number one. You got, okay. That's what, you got some nerve saying that in this house. Okay. Is that right? All right. Johnny Big Balls. You got some nerve. She's probably red right now.
My dad was always like, "Hey, don't talk to your mother like that." Like, okay.
So no, my mother, God bless her, she had to deal with 3 animals by herself. Because my dad was, when they got separated, my dad was often when we went to his place, it was just like, it's like you could act like an animal. It's like Oz. But with my mom, she was the one. She was just like, I gotta be the one keep order. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Your father's the good guy. But I'm the one. I'm the one in the shit.
You got some nerve.
You got some nerve. Three kids, 3 boys. She probably lost her fucking mind, the poor woman. And deal with us dickwads. That's right. Finally give that woman some credit. Yeah, you got some nerve. I would have told her the same damn thing, bringing up the crow every 5 fucking seconds. You didn't learn that from her. She'd teach you. Shut your mouth, Johnny Big Balls. You dumb dummy. You respect your mother. That woman. Oh yeah, and you're going to make fun of Florida too? She ain't like that. She a New Yorker. She smashed a pie in your face when you're 13. You think I knew that? Of course I do. That lemon pie coming out your nostrils, you dumb motherfucker. You dummy. I got it on tape. I was hiding in the back.
What'd you do to deserve that?
I think I made a fart noise or something. I don't remember what I did. She didn't like it though. I don't remember what I said.
Put a pie in your face?
I said something. She put the key lime pie or whatever it was on my nose, and I had to like coming up. My brother started cracking up.
I got a little spaghetti on me one time from my pops.
Did you?
Well, no, because I was a little smart ass.
Yeah, that was.
He goes, you keep that up. You're wearing that spaghetti to the dance because I was all dressed up to go to the dance.
Yeah.
Like,
good.
And he just kind of flipped it on my shirt. I'm like, nothing brutal, just kind of a little. There you go.
There you go, fucko.
You talk to me like that.
That's it.
It's these things you look back and you go, God, I deserve so much.
So
of
much
this.
of it. No, he's look. Oh, my 8.5-year-old today, it's driving me nuts. I mean, I have to tell myself that it's like, okay, she's cooped up in the house. The children are not supposed to do this. She's supposed to be running around. She's supposed to be doing her thing. But it's like, you little fucker. Sometimes I'm like, just don't go in there. Don't bother. Don't wake up your mother right now. I want peace in my life. Just let her sleep. Right? I don't want to go in there. Get the fuck out of here. Read a book.
Is she a door slammer too? Is every door
she's getting into door slamming. She's getting into the door slamming, and it's like you better cut this. I got her this fucking thing that it's sitting over there.
Oh, I know.
And it's been sitting there for weeks, and I'm like, you're never getting it. I'm like, you're never getting it. And it's just it's sitting there.
I almost was like, "Hey, can I grab that one and give it to Lydia?" Because I've been waiting when her shipment keeps getting pushed over and over and over, and I'm like,
yeah.
I had to tell her the other day. She goes, "It's Thursday." I'm like, "It's not coming till Tuesday."
No, so deal with it. Yeah. Anyway.
All
right, let's.
You got some nerve.
You had some nerve. Unbelievable. All right, streamlabs.com/the we are going to stay on the air for as long as you guys have questions, so keep those in there. Streamlabs.com/the It is the donations that keeps us going on the air here in a time like this. It is very, very much appreciated. So streamlabs.com/the and here's one right now.
$20.
Thank you so much.
Not sure if you talked about this. I was a little late to the show today, but Cate Blanchett was cast in the Borderlands movie in a key role. Seems like the news got missed by people because of the Snyder stuff, just not much talk on it from what I see.
I think I saw that on the...
No, I haven't seen that. I'll go back and I'll look.
Yeah.
We were talking about Cobra Kai just now, but I want to finish up the news and then we're going to really get into these questions. So if you have your questions, start firing them in there now so I can get to them as soon as we're done here. Okay, so this is the Apple. This is the one that Brett was talking about. Gal Gadot led Henry Lamar series. So previously in the work,
Hedley Lamar was in Blazing Saddles. This is Hedy Lamar. Remember, he was always, it's Hedley.
Oh, Hedley, yeah. Did I say Hedley? It's the same thing. Let's say Lena Headey.
You should watch the documentary about her. She was like,
I don't know enough about her.
She was a genius.
Well, here we go. Previously in the works at Showtime is the planned Gal
Max donated $20.
Thank you, Max.
Hello from Japan. First time donation. Your show has been a staple morning and afternoon commute listen for me during the entire COVID situation.
I love this.
I hope you are all staying safe there and things get back to normal for you all soon.
Thank you, Knox. You know what's funny about that, Knox, too, is I get a lot of messages about how, I think that a lot of people listen to this show on audio, more so now than even video, which is cool. And if you are listening on audio, which apparently I didn't realize until yesterday how many people are listening on audio, and I thank you for that, please make sure that you rate the show. You got to rate the show on Apple Podcast. Put a review on there. Leave a comment. It helps tremendously and helps us get back into the rankings. You know what I'm going to do is what I would really like, even if you're watching on Apple right now, I'm going to put the link in the chat room. Would you be so kind as to go in there right now, please, and leave us a rate and review, because it really is. It's very important to the show, even if you're watching it on video, which I'm going to put right now in here. Here it is.
And if you've never seen the video, just this is for the audio listeners. We're probably some of the most attractive men you've ever seen in your life. Yeah. So if you can't handle that, stick with the audio.
Stick with the audio. But I just put it in there right now. It's in there right now. If you can click on that.
Click it and lick it.
Yes, seriously, it would be very, very important. It's very important for us. But please, thank you.
I don't know how many podcasts. The number you showed me the other day, the one that's pretty damn high, right?
Well, what we're doing on podcasts is,
yeah.
it's lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of audio
bigger.
listeners. So we want to get bigger there, guys. Apparently people like Knox like to listen to it on their rides, and it's a fun podcast apparently. So thank you guys. Appreciate that. All right, let's get to this story about Gal Gadot here. So Gal Gadot, the LED event series about film legend and inventive genius Hedy Lamarr, has moved over to Apple. The tech giant has handed out an 8-episode straight-to-series order. Starring in films from the late 30s to the 50s, the incredibly resourceful Austrian-born actress also helped develop a radio guidance system for Allied torpedoes using the Second World War, one that used spread spectrum and frequency hopping technology. Eventually, following 6 marriages, good Lord, she retreated into seclusion for decades and communicated only by telephone with the outside world, even with her children and close friends. Much of the principles of her work form the basis of technology used everywhere today, including Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and GPS. Really?
No, seriously.
Wow.
And she didn't. She had to I don't know if she was still alive, but got credit for it later on. She did all this stuff for the government. I'm telling you, watch this documentary.
Where is this documentary?
I'm pretty sure it's Netflix or Hulu.
It's pretty fascinating.
No, and she was brilliant, and she was, and an actress, and was known for her looks, but nobody gave her credit for her her brilliance.
Well, apparently, That's, shit, that's all right. So that's coming.
Well, yeah,
out.
I mean, like it's pretty much, we have GPS because of her and Wi-Fi and this thing she came up with the torpedoes, and so that they couldn't be read by radio because the frequency changed and stuff. I mean, I'm not giving justice.
No, but so what's this Kate Blanchett thing though?
Oh, that was Kate Blanchett in doing Borderlands.
What the hell was that? Kate Blanchett.
Blanchett officially joins
Where's
Borderlands.
that? Is that on Dark Horizons?
Yeah.
I don't see that.
It was on the top, and you could just see a picture of Miss Blanchett. She was in a red.
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
there you go. Right next to Spike Lee.
Kate Blanchett officially joins Borderlands. Her casting was already known, but here it is. It's official. Lionsgate has announced that Oscar winner Kate Blanchett has closed a deal to star in Eli Roth's film adaptation of the Borderlands video game franchise. I don't know. I'm sorry. Just never. I respect Eli Roth. He's one of the most passionate guys I think out there when it comes to film, and I liked him a lot in Inglourious Bastards. I just don't dig his movies. Just never have. It's nothing against him. I'm just not a fan of his movies. I think he's a little exploitive sometimes to just do that, to just for the sake of being. So I don't know. But anyway, Blanchett will lead the cast. I mean, it's a great casting as Lilith, a siren and legendary thief equipped with magical skills. Launched in 2009, it's a role-playing first-person shooter game. Is set on the planet of Pandora, a rocky desert world which has been abandoned by Mega Corporation prior to the game's events and is now in total anarchy. You guys like this? You enjoy? You see, a lot of people like it. People like Hostel and everything too. I'm
kind of looking up his filmography.
He's a ballsy filmmaker. There's no doubt about it. I just have never really liked anything that. I mean, I like
Cool
Cabin
Cat
Fever.
88 donated $20. Yeah, not big on Eli Roth either.
Yeah. You know what? So, A House with a Clock in its walls was Eli Roth, and I didn't hate that movie. Thought it was okay. So it was.
Cooley High donated $20.
Hey, Cooley.
Hi friends. Christian, I sent you DM on Twitter Arnold as Conan clip. Please play it on the show. It is too funny. Thank you and Brett for providing laughter at this time.
What is it?
Watching the news has been so depressing.
Oh, shit.
Rest in power, George Floyd.
Yeah.
Be safe, my friends.
Well said. Well said on all of it, my man.
Yeah, the news is
it's horrible right now. It's horrible. Conan the Barbarian. This is the one that he sent me. What is this?
Mountain Dew game.
Mountain Dew. It's not Conan.
man.
Let me turn the.
Get a mouthful of dew.
Yeah, what is this now? It's Conan the Barbarian. Conan prays the crowd. I don't know what part is this. Let's see. It's the best. The hell with you.
I wish I could. I could do Cry on Demand. I would have had like a single tear during that.
So
speech.
good.
The house.
Lamentation of you women. You ever hear that? You ever hear that one? No. Oh, that's the best. Lamentation.
God, it's been so long
since
I've
seen
seen
that?
Conan.
Oh, this is the best. Listen, this is my favorite clip.
This is good, but what is best in life? The open steppe, free thoughts, falcons at your wrist, and wind in your hair. Wrong! Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of your women.
So good. My other one is Crom laughs at you. I don't know if that's on there, but Crom laughs at you. I got to put that. Got to find that.
My poor wife, her dad made her watch things like that. Like they had no control of the television, as most children at that age, and they either watch Conan and the Barbarian.
It's the best. Listen.
Crom laughs at your four winds.
Crom laughs at you 4 wins. Crom.
Crom laughs at your four winds.
Watch your 4 wins.
Crom laughs at you 4 wins. Anyway, so good. I think that's everything as far as news goes. I got to get to you guys now. So again, let's get this conversation started here. Streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. Is there anything else that we missed? Anything else that you want to talk about? Any other particular topics that you want to hit today? I know a lot of times I ask in the Facebook group if you want to discuss certain things, but bring it up again, whether you want to do it in the questions or if you want to just interrupt the show. Go ahead, Johnny Big Balls. All right. So I'm getting that stupid thing again. Where is it?
Ask me some questions.
Ask me a question. All right, starting with, this is Ann Doniba. Hey, Christian, did you see the IMLX Labs announcement of the new Star Wars VR game? Have you had a chance of playing Vader Immortal Chapter 2 and 3? I haven't played 2 and 3. I loved Chapter 1, and I didn't see the new announcement. What's the new announcement on the game? I'll have to look this up. There's a new, I love these Lucasfilm VR game. Let me check it out. What's the new one? Now it's a Star Wars Tales. Oh, I see it from the Galaxy Edge VR game. That's cool. No, I didn't see that though. I'm all down with the VR games. I think they're a lot of fun. I got to get myself one of those stupid things.
Oh yeah,
so.
no, Leaf got one.
Yeah.
And we were having family game nights, but then like we'd split off with somebody doing board games and that, and we were just starting to get into that before this all happened.
That's cool.
We couldn't hang out anymore, so it was like the kids we're super bummed.
But really, I gotta get one. So I need to get one of those. There's did anybody? So I just saw this. So Level 2 Trading, Masters of the Universe coming. Is it coming on Netflix? Because I know it's the Kevin Smith one. Is that coming out soon, or are you giving me false hope and telling me there's going to be a Masters of the Universe VR game? Because I would buy that tomorrow. If someone was like, yeah, that's how we want Harloff to buy a VR, give me the He-Man. There's some more super chats coming in. There is. Ryan C. About to do a Villeneuve marathon. So many are so good. You're not wrong. He's so amazing. I think I might want to watch, like I told you, I'm doing rewatches right now and talking about stuff. People were really on board with that idea, by the way. But I was going to do it last night. I was going to come in here and watch something. I'm hooked at the Last Dance right now. I blasted through like 3 episodes. I'm getting into episode 4 tonight. I'm going to definitely finish that series. And like, I have so much more respect for Scottie Pippen than I did prior. I didn't realize how fucked over he was, because he came from a very poor family. I think in Arkansas is where he's from. He came from a very poor family. He was a really good guy. He came from a lot of kids. His mom and his dad and his brother both were paralyzed. When his dad had a stroke. His brother, like, a freak gym accident. Somebody fell on him, and he makes it to the NBA, gets himself a contract, and he signs, like, I think it was, I want to tell you, it was an 11-year deal, something like that, for shit money. It was like, I forget, like $15 million or something for a total of, it was either 9 or 11 years. I can't remember what it was. Either way, he took it because he wanted a guarantee that he could take care of his family.
Yeah.
Because what he didn't want to do was play.
Flatulent Tom Cruise donated $20.
Thank you, Flatulent.
Hey, Roaring.
Hey.
Vanilla Sky is one of my fave movies.
It's a good one.
Love Kurt Russell as subconscious father figure. A kind of prelude to Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Both have perfect soundtracks. Hits me in the heart. Speaking of Kurt Russell, watch The Thing You Is Ho.
You asshole.
Was Kurt Russell in Vanilla Sky? I remember loving that movie, but I don't remember Kurt Russell in that movie.
I'm sure they did their research.
I'm sure he's right, but Kurt Russell.
What was that name again?
He was in Vanilla Sky. He's absolutely right. Holy shit, dude! I haven't seen. Let's see. Let me see if this is a clip from Vanilla Sky. I haven't seen Vanilla Sky in a long time. It's been years since I've seen this movie.
The sky is vanilla.
It's just a video.
Oh,
it's not a clip.
Welcome to my vanilla.
Yeah, I gotta see that. I have to see that movie again. It's been a long time since I've seen
Crom
Vanilla
laughs
Sky.
at you 4 wins.
Ha! Crom laughs at you 4 wins. Come on. Yeah, you didn't know Kurt Russell was in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there. He showed up.
See ya.
He said hi, and we said hi. And he said, "Do you want to be in the movie?" And he said, "Sure, why not?" And I said, "Why am I here? I'm not the producer." Yeah. And they said, "Well, you're Arnold." And I said, "That's true, I am." And so I said, "Okay, he's gonna be in the movie." He said, "Why?" He said, "Because he's Kurt Russell. He's got an eye patch from the Snake Plissken." And
there's one line.
There's one line. He
look
shows
at this
up.
vanilla sky.
He said, "Hi, look at the sky." And he's, "Ha."
Doesn't it remind you of vanilla?
And he said, "Ha, Crom laughs at you, Vanilla Sky." Crom. I said, "To hell with you."
To hell with you, Crom.
Punches a camel in the face. So good. Okay, everybody.
But you told me you'd kill me last.
I lied.
Boom. That was one of my favorite lines.
Can you remember the name of the villain that he kills?
Oh no,
Sully.
Hey
Sully. Remember when I told you I'd kill you last? Yeah, that's right, Matrix. You did.
You did.
I lied. My favorite is that neither him or Ray Don Chong are wearing seatbelts, and they drive about 100 miles an hour into a telephone pole. He gets out just as nothing. The movie is so incredibly ridiculous. I love it. Commando. It's so great. It's so stupid. She gets out of the fucking car and she's got the rocket launcher and blows up the truck. It's so stupid. It's so great. I love it. It's like, what she say? He's like, "You ready for this green beret, motherfucker?" I eat green beret for breakfast.
Yes.
She's like, "What's this macho bullshit?" I've seen that movie so many times. I love it. Chris Jones. Thank you for putting in that Space Force comment. Slimy Big Butt. Oh, hello, Slimy Big Butt. I live in Minnesota, so thank you for the distraction from the crap going on. Yeah, man. It's fucking, if the world couldn't get crazier and shittier, what a stupid fucking, I don't want to even get into it.
Slimy Big Butt says, I just really love you guys, and I hope your families are safe. Dave Jones says, eat a comic.
Right. Yeah. Sniff My Asshole says, love to puppies and plant flowers.
Rainbow.
Love and Peace says, you motherfuckers.
Talk about the fucking topic.
That's right,
dumbass.
you dicks. Doc Dredd 2. Not a fan of JJ directing Superman. Producing, sure. JJ is like that kid who copies homework and forgets to change things enough to make it his own. He's good at copying a style, but I think he fundamentally doesn't understand the worlds he dabbles in. It's a fair argument. He's a great producer. I think that I don't know what they're going to do with this. And again, this is all rumor. Nothing has been announced thus far. I think it makes sense. We'll see what happens. I don't think that this particular time, sometimes I think stories are supposed to get leaked. I don't think this is one of those times. So I wonder if it's true, if there's an announcement about it, or if they just sit and wait. Dagan, who put in Schmobot. Thank you. Brandon85. JJ Abrams is unique, where he is a type of person who is passionate about the project that he picks. Despite Rise of Skywalker's Abrams' involvement with Superman, it can be interesting. It's bold and maybe a smart move. It could be. Like I said, you're judged by the last thing that you do. So right now, everybody's going to be talking about Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
If it was right after Lost, everybody would be super excited if he was doing it. If it was right after Mission Impossible 3, people would be pumped that he was doing it. If it was right after Super 8, people would be excited. But it's right after Rise of Skywalker, and from that comment before about how there was a lot of cutting and pasting from certain things, and I don't disagree. There's other things where, look, I've said it many times with Rise of Skywalker. I don't hate it the way other people do. I think it's a fluffy popcorn movie with no substance, but I can enjoy watching it. I enjoy watching a lot of it more so than I enjoy watching other Star Wars movies. But I will say that it's nothing that I have to like. I don't have the love and affection that I do for the other movies, or The Mandalorian. But I don't know. I think that maybe with Superman you have a little bit more rope to play with than you do in Star Wars. We'll see. Christian Alante, if you look at Man of Steel at the start of the DCEU, then it was financially very successful because it made more money than all the Phase 1 MCU movies not named Avengers. It's a great point. Dagan, did you guys see the article about the monkeys in India that stole and ran off with COVID samples? I guess Planets of the Apes is a documentary after all. I've heard about that briefly. I don't know enough about
Douglas
it.
Johnson donated $20.
Thank you, Douglas.
They just arrested that piece of shit cop that killed George Floyd.
Good.
Now for the 3 others that did nothing to stop it.
No shit. Well, the Minnesota said it though. They said that we're not. This is going to be swift. I think the mayor came out and said it's going to be swift justice. Fuck that guy. Put him away forever. Dagan, did you see we did that? So Mark Turi, who put in the wonderful Schmobot before. Thank you again, Mark. Brandon Berry. Also, after watching Mission Impossible Fallout, I think Christopher McQuarrie would be a great choice to take on a Man of Steel sequel. Maybe there's a relationship there. Do that with JJ. If JJ is producing this in general, if there is going to be a sequel at all, McQuarrie would be an interesting choice. But I think he's wrapped up in a lot of other things right now. This is from Sir Lord Attenborough making his much-needed return. I'd much rather see Man of Steel 2 before the Snyder Cut, to be honest. Cavill deserves another movie as Superman, and I liked Snyder's take a lot. I wanted to also ask you guys what streaming platform is the best for its value. Thanks for the laughs. That's a complicated question, the streaming one, because it depends on your taste.
Like, depends on what family member you're stealing it from.
It's the truth also. but the family aspect of it, I can tell you that Disney Plus is the best value for what my family's looking for. It's like $5.99 or whatever it is, $6.99. I don't walk into my house and don't see either the Mickey Mouse Club on or Doc McStuffins or what would Expendables, Descendants. When you have kids, and like
Black
Bambi
Mirror.
was playing, Black Mirror. All these things are playing all
Hotel
the time.
Turd donated $20. Well, everybody's heard about the turd turd. Turd's a word. Well, a turd. Turd is a word. Well, a turd. Well, a turd is a word.
Well, you have a point.
I don't want to say facts because apparently I put a thing that said, now they're really breaking down. We know about the executive order that was put down on social media. Holy shit. That's what we're going after right now?
Holy shit.
But that's, again, not this type of show. I can't believe what's going on in the world.
Turd is a word.
Yeah, turd is a word. Anyway.
I just fixed myself so my head didn't look like it was a giant
penis.
I backed it up a little bit, folks. That's for you.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Sir Lord Arrow. Marvel Man Mike. Brett and Bibbs. You both have to get ExpressVPN and download a streaming service called BritBox. Every available classic Doctor Who and so many British period dramas, crime dramas. It's $5 a month, but worth it. Best wishes to everyone from the UK. Thank you. Back to Sir Lord Attenborough. Not sure if you covered this story, but what are your thoughts on Netflix not participating in film festivals this year? Will Amazon, Apple follow? How will this affect Oscar consideration for 2021? I didn't see that story. We didn't talk about it, obviously. I don't know. I don't know how this year is going to pan out in general when it comes out to Oscars and Academy Awards, and like they're going to have to dump so much shit into, like, I don't know what the rules are going to be, because once like September, October, November, and if theaters aren't open, they're definitely, I think they already said they're got to get rid of that rule that they put in about how many movies need to be in theaters and all that, because you may not have theaters open. So what is the Academy Awards going to look like next year? I'm so intrigued by that, because the majority of this stuff is going to come out in September through the end of the year
Pac-Man
anyway.
Wayne donated $20. Hey guys, last week you all talk about greatest show and on my Streamlabs was missed, but it read thank you Harloff for always talking about Star Wars Rebel. Because of you and The Mandalorian gave me hope on Star Wars be great again, and Brett, you still my boy.
There you go.
Thank you.
Well, sorry about that again. Yeah, last week there was a couple of mishaps we had with some of the tech when we added Zoom, and it messed up a lot of stuff, so we missed some.
Guys, we've only
last
been
week.
doing this since November.
I
Cut
know.
us some
Give us some
slack.
slack. I know. Well, Zoom we
The
only
Zoom
been
thing
doing for a
is
week.
that one's
Yeah.
a.
But yeah, man, I'm glad. I mean, like I said, I think Star Wars television has been the best Star Wars storytelling since, I think there's some good stories inside of the prequels. The dialogue, not the best. The acting, not the best, but there's some good stories.
And I think these docs will give you a nice little, like, kind of get you hyped for the next season of Mandalorian. I think it's a nice little
good.
teaser to just kind of get you, okay, here I'm ready. You know, it's coming.
Yeah, but TV is the best for Star Wars. Like I mentioned it, and you know, I think Winston gave me shit on it too. I'd be okay with. I'm cool with seeing Star Wars in the theater, and I think it's one of those movies that lends itself. I mean, it's really great to watch Star Wars on the big screen. There's no doubt about it. But if someone said you're never going to get another Star Wars movie ever again, but you're going to get TV, 1 or 2 series for the rest of your life, I'm like, cool, I'm good, because to me that's. I used to really enjoy diving into the books and finding like these more long form stories for Star Wars, and I think that's what television does, and it clearly is what Mandalorian did. I would. And I told it, and I stick by it. I was way more excited for Mandalorian than I was Episode 9, and for me, it turned out to be. I'm glad that my expectations went into Mandalorian and not Rise of Skywalker, because I wasn't disappointed by Mandalorian at all, and I was pretty much up to par with what happened on with Rise of Skywalker. So, but yeah, television for Star Wars has been on point, and Filoni has been on the front lines for all of it, to be honest. So.
I guess TV is cutting you checks these days.
It's true, television. No, but a lot of people like the Mandalorian. So until people won't start saying that. Like, you won't start seeing videos about the fact that, you know, all this stuff that I'm supposed to say good things about television until people stop liking it. If people stop liking Mandalorian, then it'll be like.
I hope
that's just how it goes.
Kicks ass.
Yeah, and when you do say nice things about stuff, they don't take the clips on the stuff that when you're actually talking about the stuff that.
Pac-Man Wayne donated $20. Oh, I'm not mad. It's always hated going around in the world. I just wanted to hear that y'all really brighten my day up, and what y'all do make a kid from the hood be proud to be a geek and schmo.
Well, dude, you're the best, dude. You've been around for a long time. I mean, you've been with us since we started doing this dance in November. So, Dwain, you're cool with us, man. I'm happy that you're here. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Once again, everybody, I had posted the podcast link in the chat room, and if you're watching this back, you can see the live chat. Please go ahead and right now I am going to put it in the chat room. Please go over there and leave us a rating, review. Help us. It helps us go skyrocket in the charts. Right now there's like 800 people in here. If you guys all clicked on that at the moment right now and did a rating, we would shoot up into the rankings, and it would be. And you know, I know not everybody can be patrons. I know not everybody can do donations. But if you could open that up and click a like or in there or rate it, the 5 stars, that would be much appreciated.
And that's something that comes up all the time. People say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't give more. I can't give more."
What can I do?
You can. You do. Yeah.
Yeah. People have asked, "What can I do?" I was like, go to that link, and that's it.
Support our madness.
Yeah, please. All right, so we are going to move on over here. We got a lot of donations coming in over at Streamlabs.com. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to try to hit Super Chat and see if they're actually registering it. So PLD, one of the best parts of Commando is Bennett, who looks like Freddie Mercury in Chainmail. There's no doubt about it. He absolutely looks like Freddie Mercury. I'm going to shoot you between the balls. It's the best. Blow off some steam, Bennett. Black Whitebeard. Crom says you got some nerve. Ryan C., who put in a Schmobob. We talked about it before. Schmobob, the Super Chat. Zachary Sutliff. We all loved those days. You guys lost your mind. Yeah, we had a couple of those shows for sure. I was talking. I was on Attack Peter's show that he's doing, an interview show, and we talked about that. We talked about how he just totally got the vibe.
Yeah.
Of you and I, and how we.
It was also just. It was just play. We got to play for a little. I don't think that we've had time, or I don't know. It reminded me of just us being
Goofing around.
back in the CPK days.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Rockin' Movies with Tyler put in a super chat. We read that before. Haskell 420 is that us yesterday's? Okay. So we read all the super chats. Go back to Streamlabs here because I want to make sure everybody's getting their stuff read because I don't want to leave stuff in there. Thank you for all the Schmo bots. You can keep those coming over there. Streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. Keep them coming. Any conversations you want to have, we shall have them on this here show. Yep. So this was Marshall Weeks who said it is confirmed that Kate Blanchett is joining Eli Roth's Borderlands video game movie. So excited for this. She is playing Lilith, which I think is perfect. Eli Roth is perfect to direct this adaptation as the game is batshit crazy. Well, he does batshit crazy stuff. So maybe that's why they took him. Maybe they said this is somebody who can actually take this vision and do it. So, like I said, I think that the guy is absolutely very passionate and stuff that he's done. I mean, I didn't mind Cabin Fever. I think I mentioned that before.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Marshall Weeks, thank you.
That's all we can do.
Hotel Turd with the Schmobot. Cool Cat 88 with the Schmobot. Travis D. Good day, fellas. I was curious to know if you've watched The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs on Shudder. And if so, what are your thoughts? Dude's been a childhood staple of mine since the TNT Monster Vision days, and he's funnier than ever now. I don't know enough about it. Do you know, Brett?
No, I don't.
No, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't have enough information on that one. But I'm always loving learning about some of these passions that you guys are into because it always kind of says, "Oh, wait a minute, we should check that out." Cool Cat 88, who put in a Schmobot. Knox put in a Schmobot. Cool Cat again, and Cooley High. Flatulent Tom Cruise, of course.
Yes.
And Salad Von Bako. Back. I saw the trailer to the new Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge for Kids hosted by Ahmed Best. I'm so jealous of kids today. I wish they had this when I was growing up. I wish they had a show like this for adults. Would your daughter be into it? Well, I showed her, and she I want to be on it.
Yeah.
I want to be on it. I got to be on it. I want to watch it. When can I watch it? Yeah. I tell her it's June 2nd is when it comes. She's like, that's like the next week. Next week. Douglas Johnson put in a Schmobot, so did Hotel Nerd, Pac-Man, Dwain put in 2 Schmobots. So thank you to all who are putting in those things right now. Yeah, it's
Crom laughs at your 4 wins.
Crom laughs at you. But I'm so curious. This
just in.
Patricia Metz. To do a watch-along once a week, someone in the crew picks a movie to do a deep dive into. I would pick The Princess Bride. A lot of people do these, but they're always fun. Spread the happy. Yeah, it's just a matter of timing of how to do all that. Because we've talked about doing, I'm going to be doing the watch-along for the thing now because you guys got us to 4,000 followers on Twitch. If you haven't done that already, please do that because next week it's a big one. Look at this match. Andrew the Hunter Dimolanta, which I'm trying to go on his and his wife Nikki. I'm going to pre-tape their show. I'm going to go on their show tonight. It'll air on Monday. But Andrew the Hunter Dimolanta and Joseph the Jedi Scrimshaw go head-to-head on next week's stream. If you have not watched the Star Wars streams on Twitch, well, this is one you don't want to miss. This is going to be a battle. I think that whoever wins this it has a very good chance to make it to the finals. Of course, Molly Damon and Adam Witt might have something to say about that, but these two guys, Andrew Dimolanta is 0-2, but his record does not really represent his knowledge. He is hungry. He wants to win. And Joseph Scrimshaw, it's funny enough, has only won once. In the Star Wars division, one win is like 5. It's a crazy, crazy division, and these two are going to be scrapping it out. So make sure that you go on over. Please head on over to twitch.tv. I don't know. I haven't seen Ben Goddard today. I don't know if have you seen Ben?
Ben? No.
I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Maybe he's twitching.
I don't know what he's doing. But he's not in there, I don't think. So maybe he is. I don't know. Twitch.tv/the Schmodown. It's in there right now. And you can go on over there and follow. Because you don't want to miss these tournaments for sure. I made an announcement that the Star Wars tournament will be airing on YouTube. It'll be each month. It'll be like a month after the match airs. So you'll definitely be spoiled by the time it airs, but you'll still have it. It'll still be on there if you want to comment and stuff on it. So, all right, just a couple more Streamlabs that have come in the interim there. So why did that not come? Oh, this is probably Nox's Schmobot's about to hit, so I might get interrupted here. But dip and wipe. Assuming the theaters are actually able to open in the fall, how much will this closure really affect the Oscars? 90% of nominations already come from films released in the last 3 months of the year anyway. Just curious. I mean, that's kind of what we talked about, right? If the theaters are actually able to open up, how much will the closure affect the Oscars? Well,
are they going to let VODs be?
Yeah, I don't know because the question is, a lot of times, a box office does affect Oscar nominations as much as sometimes people don't think that it does. It does. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. And I think that I don't think a lot of people are going to be flocking to the theater whether they're open or not. I don't know why Knox's Schmobot didn't come through. I'll read it then. Hi again. Would love to see a serial series or a movie series done for the Mass Effect series. It's my favorite sci-fi fantasy franchise, even above Star Wars. The game trilogy was written by Drew Karpyshyn, who also wrote Knights of the Old Republic. Drew Karpyshyn also wrote the best Star Wars books, some of the best series and legends of the Darth Bane trilogy. Drew Karpyshyn is awesome, and we've talked about Mass Effect, he and I, when I had a chance to interview him. So I heard that they were supposed to do a Mass Effect, and they never did it. I don't know why Drew Karpyshyn isn't writing movies. I have no idea. He's great, and I also don't know why your Schmobot didn't come through there, Knox. Okay, so going back on over to you guys, I'm trying to think. I want to see if there's anything else out there because there's so much in the world happening in the world of movie news, and I want to double check. I want to see if anybody's actually reporting on that story yet, because like Campea said in the beginning of his video, he's not he never pretended to be a scooping site. He just something that he heard that he thought it was pretty legit, so he's talking about it. So I don't think anybody's actually picking it up yet. I wonder if anybody is yet. Curious. I'm gonna do I'll put it in the googs, in the old googies. What are you doing over there, Brett?
I was just looking at some news on Dark Horizons.
Nothing big, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, so nobody's really talking about it yet. But I wonder if some of the outlets will go and research it and see if maybe they can reveal something, or maybe not. What's going on with He-Man, by the way? I know that's
who's messing with Christian with this He-Man?
I got to figure it out, because I know when is Masters of the Universe Netflix? When does that come out? Because I'll be watching that, like, let's say Kevin Smith. When is it? Kevin Smith. Do you guys know? Does anybody have a release date on it? Oh, when does it land? Oh, lands. This is the voice cast is incredible, but I don't know when is the release date. Does anybody know when the release date is out there? Help us out. Oh yeah, so there's something else. Thank you, Leo Logan. The Inner Geekdom tournament starts this Monday for patrons. Monday and Tuesday it starts. You're going to get the play-in matches between Ben Goddard and Jim Vejvoda hits, and then Greg Alba versus the Warfather. Those two matches air this week, or this upcoming week, for the Inner Geekdom tournament. The winner of Alba and Warfather will play Kalinowski. The winner of Goddard and Vejvoda will play Robert Parker. So make sure that will be on this channel. If you are a patron, you'll get the Goddard and Vejvoda match a little early on Monday and Tuesday. So make sure you go ahead and do that.
Knox donated $20.
Now it came through.
Hi again. Would love to see a serial series or a movie series done for the Mass Effect series.
That's weird.
It is my favorite sci-fi fantasy franchise, even above Star Wars. The game trilogy was written by Drew Karpyshyn, who also wrote Knights of the Old Republic.
That's so bizarre why that came in so late.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
It's a glitch in the Matrix.
Maybe so. Ben Second Behule. Cinemas are opening here in the Netherlands next week with a limited of 30 people per showing. If other countries open as well and the U.S. doesn't, will that affect the Oscars? As movies will get released, just not in the U.S. I don't know how they're going to do it, man. I got to be honest. I'm on a loss. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
With everything, it's just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Shelby Y. I'm a week behind on Gallery Mandalorian, but the volume technology came up with is mind-blowing. It's absolutely amazing. I loved hearing them say it was what George Lucas had wanted and envisioned 20 years ago, and seeing him on set was great. In Favreau, we trust. I was blown away by that episode. That was 2 weeks ago, I think. When it was 2 weeks or was it last week?
I think that was last
It was
week.
last week. Yeah, I was blown away by it. Thought it was great, and I thought it was. I had no idea that that's what they were using, or to that effect anyway. So I'm excited to see the practical effects. I love the gallery series, and I love the way that they did it. They really just, you could tell they just had like a day or two where they were shooting with all these people, and then they just put together this big, kind of behind the scenes thing and it seems to be doing pretty well for them. I think it's a good series that they've done. I'd like to see how they do that with other series that they do. I mean, they have this. When's their Marvel series coming out? I don't even know. They have, I thought they had one coming out this year. Maybe it got pushed. I don't remember. Pac-Man and Dwain, I'm glad you brought back one-on-one, but it's a two-part question. Who's your dream guest you would like to interview? And from you working in WWE and a fan, who's a current and legend you would like to interview? Could they be, I guess if we're talking about anybody live or dead, Randy Savage would have been somebody I would have loved to interview. I mean, hard not to say. I know that he's very controversial and has done a lot of stupid things and is really, done a lot of embarrassing things, and that's Hulk Hogan. But it'd be hard not to want to dive deep if you could ask him anything and talk to him about whatever. He would be someone for sure. Stone Cold Steve Austin, obviously, The Rock. Becky Lynch would be somebody that I would like to talk to for sure, especially now. There's a lot of people. There's a lot, and that's just on the top of my head of people that I want to talk to. Paul Heyman, who I've had a relationship with in the past for sure. He's someone I'd love to pick his brain. I'd love to have Paul Heyman on. I mean, shit, maybe even reach out to Paul Heyman. He'd be great to talk to. Okay. So
there's some more talks of other cuts of things of Revenge of the Sith, Dark Phoenix.
Where's that? Is that on Dark Horizons?
It's on Dark Horizons. It says Sith Phoenix
I saw
Squad
that,
alternate cut talk. I don't know if this is anything.
That's what we talked about the other day. Where's that at?
It just starts with Sith is the first thing.
Right here.
Yeah. I don't know if there's much to it. I just saw
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like. This is from Garth Franklin.
But we're talking
Dark
about
Horizons.
how maybe this is going to keep. They're going to want cuts of everything.
They're going to try to do it
because there was something on change.org demanding a Lucasfilm release of a 4-hour cut.
This is fan petition. This is just fan petition. The difference between the Snyder stuff is that it was fan petition plus Snyder himself talking about it.
Yeah,
it was. Basically, Snyder saying, look, I have this thing. I want to do this thing. And then the audience saying, yeah, we want to see it too. Now, George Lucas came out and said, hey, I have a 4-hour version that I want to release, and Lucasfilm and Disney won't release it. You better bet your ass people would start getting on board and saying, well, release the Lucas cut. That's not happening. It's the same thing with there was a lot of lead up to get to that Snyder cut, as opposed to who the hell cares about Dark Phoenix? Who gives a shit about that? You can't change the fact that
servers at your
Shut up. Anyway, all right, let's get back on over here. We got some Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's, who hasn't been around in a while. Patty Boy, it's me, Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's. Daddy's having trouble. Why does Bet prefer Mickey D's to my grade A quality beef patties? We don't cut corners. Good question, Brett. Controversial though.
I don't know. I do not prefer I think when I brought up Mickey D's, it was just the proximity of your place, and I pass it all the time. I do prefer Wendy's to McDonald's, and then from there I Fat Burger, Five Guys. I like more of.
Gotta get to In-N-Out.
In-N-Out is good.
Oh, it's my favorite.
But I think in terms of, it's way better than McDonald's and Burger King and anything like that. Their fries are shit.
Fries aren't great.
But I love like Fat Burger, and I love Five Guys because you see somebody take some meat and smush it onto a grill, and they're
Fat
cooking
Burger to me looks like that rubber like burger that you buy at like a prop store. I had one once when it was at the Century City Mall, and I was like, oh, because I actually think I remember you telling me about Fat Burger, and I was like, let me try it, and I remember Ice-T like rapping about it, so I wanted to try it. Hated it. It's like, this sucks.
That was our go-to.
It's the last time I ever had it.
They got the big steak fries, but no, 100% favorite burger place is Five Guys.
All right. Yeah, a lot of people like that place too. I animal style In-N-Out. For the longest time, I had never had it. My wife was like, "You got to have In-N-Out. Shut up." And I did. It was good.
And if we were talking economical, good burger, that one. I mean,
good.
Five Guys is a little spendy.
No,
that's a treat.
There was a place, and I can't imagine it exists anymore. But there was a place on Venice, the boardwalk, and at the very end of the boardwalk, on the right-hand side in this little corner, was this burger place, and I would go there every time I was at Venice, and it was just like, holy shit. And I think it was actually, the place is gone now. I can't remember what the hell it was called. I knew where it was, but now it's gone. So fuck my life.
Yeah.
PLD. I just
You think you have problems?
Yeah, no shit. I just wanted to promote that Call to Action is going to break down and preview the entire IG tournament with Eric Zipper on Sunday's Call Live, and then we're going to talk to Sabrina Ramirez on Chill to Action on Monday. Should be a lot of fun. Check out the peeps over on Call to Action. They got a lot of stuff going on over there, as well as the good peeps over at Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmodown, who are still trying to get that stupid name of the gator to stick and get lost. I think that's everything over there on that side of things. All right, guys, how you feeling? How you doing?
How's everybody doing?
How you doing? Are you ready to call this a day? What do you say? Let's do it.
You guys all just gearing up to see myself and Kate at 1:30?
Oh, yeah, you guys are on today.
Yeah.
1:30.
Daughter's doing my makeup during the show.
And you're going to bring some people onto the show, right?
Yes,
All right,
yes.
so all patrons will get all patrons of SEN Live. You go to patreon.com/SEN Live. All patrons will get this show, and then from the $10 and up, we'll be able to join Kate and Brett on the show today. So again, that's HDT slow show day. Just got here. No, not slow. We had a lot of good stories to talk about today for sure. Let's see where else.
Fridays tend to be a little more late.
Always is. But if you guys have anything else, I'm going to do something.
Yeah, we're still here.
Let's see if we're going to wrap it up here, but let's just double check. I'm going to look real quick, see if there's anything in there. This is Marshall Weeks. Don't mean to be rude, but I think you missed some donations. I had one before my Borderlands donation. You're not being rude at all. Hey, Brett, can't wait to see your next Schmodown match. Christian, any plans for another Patreon Q&A? Yes, there are. We're going to start doing those a lot more. Let me see, Marshall. So you had, I'll double check.
After yesterday, my buddy said I should be Brett Shelf Life Sheridan.
Oh, yeah. You got a shelf life. I only see one, Marshall. Oh, no, I saw you on. It's confirmed Kate Blanchett is joining Eli Roth's Borderlands. We got that one.
Is there one before that?
I don't know. Is there another one? Marshall Weeks. Let's see it. Let's see. Oh, this is the one. Sorry. I don't want to see JJ direct a Man of Steel sequel or any DC movie. Producing would be fine. If he does direct, and I will see it anyways, because I love Superman and Henry Cavill as Superman. JJ is hit and miss with me. That's my point. But that's my point. So I asked you the same thing though there, Marshall. Like, I'm curious if you'd probably still watch it because you like Superman, but would you be less willing to see it if Henry Cavill isn't Superman? So I think that by taking Superman for JJ, it's a good decision for people who maybe don't like him as a director, that maybe they'll be on board because, Cavill is going to be involved in it. So, yeah. I think that was everything because I didn't.
Knox donated $20.
Hello, Knox.
Thanks for all you do. Glad to finally support you all.
It's very nice of you to do so today, Knox, too. Really appreciate it. And thank you, Japan.
Thanks for the confetti.
Oh, you threw some confetti.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing I guess you can do. I like that.
What is the little? I can never see it. Is it you and Mark?
What?
The
That
little
thing?
thing
Yeah.
that's on my head.
This thing right here.
Yeah.
I would still see it without Cavill, says Marshall Weeks. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's Superman. I'm with you on that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh wait, RINC.
Hey.
Still doing the Schmoes limited series of shows. The answer to that is yes. And Mark and I will be doing our limited shows. We were going to do one last week. We weren't able to do it. And then we were going to do one this Saturday. They're going to be on Saturday at 8 o'clock is what we decided to do, 8 p.m. PST. So it might be a little later for East Coast people, but it's going to be like a nighttime show that we're going to do, myself and Ellis. But we couldn't do it this weekend because we're pre-taping an Inner Geekdom match. and it just runs closer into it. So there was a particular competitor that had to do it on the weekend, so we wanted to make sure that we were able to do that. So we're not going to be able to do one, but we are going to start the limited series back up, and it will be on Saturdays. So we will be doing it for sure. Let me see if there's any more super chats. This is a good one. I didn't mind that one at all. Okay, everybody, listen. Let's get ourselves happy this weekend. Let's have a good weekend. Let's try to ignore the shitty world the way it is.
Back Monday refreshed.
Yeah, let's laugh. Let's have a good time. Let's laugh. I want to thank everybody here for joining us. Thank you to Brett Sharon. Thank you to you guys. You can click that like button. Well, once again, I'm going to post this bad boy in here one more time. If you're watching on the replay, do it. Brandon, thank you. Hey, guys, wanted to give thank you to Brett. I got a trivia match question correct because of Brett mentioning Mangold directing Kate Leopold. Thank you, Brett. There you go. That's from Brandon Dunlap. And with Brandon's last message, we thank you guys. We will see you on Monday. Have a great, wonderful weekend. Don't forget about this next week. And finally, Clark Wolf, one-on-one virtual coaching sessions. They are available only for one more day. You can sign up for Clark, who is a coach this June. All right, everybody. See you on the Monday.